everybody. We're here to do Q&A number 23. And how you is that good for you?
It's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. So Q&A number 23. Appreciate all your questions as usual. A lot of these questions need more of a detailed answer. I try to be as detailed as possible without droning on and on. But a lot of the questions do, usually need like a 30-minute answer. But want to get you set in the right direction. A lot of the times these questions have to do with how to stop an unwanted behavior. And we lay it out all on the line. We're very transparent about the way that we train dogs and our philosophy and methodology. And the only way to stop an unwanted behavior is through discipline or punishment. Okay? So a lot of the questions that ask me, how do I stop, is the answer is going to contain some form of discipline or punishment based answer. However, when we train dogs here, day to day, most of our day is rewarding the dog. Saying yes to the dog with either physical praise or food. That was not Danielle. That was my dog Roman, coughing something up.
Thanks for making that clear.
Well, I would never want anyone.
Appreciate that.
I would never want anyone to think badly of you. I wouldn't want them to think that you were rude or disgusting.
I hate you so much.
There you go. She said it again. It's I have all this documentation. How many times you said,
I know,
I hate you.
All of our
So it's
clients are just gonna hate me for hating you.
right, because I feel like a lot of them love me.
They do. Everyone loves
Do you guys believe I pay somebody to sit here and tell me that she hates me? But every time you say hate, I hear love. So
It's
fine.
true.
Yeah, it is true.
It's true.
All right. See, okay. Even though I'm being honest with you. Even though the positioning is I still feel like it's awkward.
What's awkward?
I feel like maybe I should be more like this.
Okay.
But then you say, well, oh, you're sitting in the middle and I just crowd you out. It's is that how you really feel? Does that look good to you?
No, I'm fine here.
Okay.
I said it's normally when we start, which this was before we started, when we were already discussing this, you start in the middle and then you kind of look at me why are you on top of me?
I am now?
Why are you doing that? And then you kind of are oh, I guess I'll move over a little. And then
Right.
you kind of get over to the side and then you're oh, this is actually better since you're not on top of me.
Yeah. So I get that. But are we this is good now though, right?
It's perfect.
Okay. All
It's
right.
the best Q&A that we've done yet.
We haven't even done it.
I know, but that's how good it is.
All right. Let's see. See if it can be the best one.
First of all, just let's get this piece of hair out of your face. It's bothering you.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
Camden Kaiser. I have a question. I have 2 dogs, Eli and Bo. Eli is 2 and Bo is 10 months. Bo isn't fixed yet, but we have that scheduled for the end of the month. We've had Bo ever since he was 8 weeks, and the same with Eli. They have been best buds since we adopted Bo. Lately, and I'm talking about just this past week, Eli will go after Bo. He will go after him when he's eating / just sitting there chewing on a bone. He has become very possessive over food, so we had to separate them. It's to the point where he'll go after him so bad that we have to step in between them, and that's scary enough. I thought I would reach out to you and ask for suggestions to try because my last option would be to rehome him, and I don't want to do that whatsoever.
Gotcha. Well, thank you, Camden, for reaching out. We're happy to help you in any way that we can. I'm sorry. Who's Eli's the old one, and who's going after? Bo is going after the older one.
Eli is 2 and Bo is 10 months.
Who's going after who?
Eli will go after Bo.
Okay.
So Eli's 2.
Eli's 2.
He's the older one.
Okay, Camden. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to be a leader for your dogs. Okay. I know it's a vague answer. Dog trainers say that all the time. Be a leader for your dogs. What exactly does that mean? You have to manage the dogs. Okay? So, we don't allow free-for-alls. We don't advocate for free-for-alls. meaning everything we do is very structured, clear down to the way that our dogs eat. It's very structured, especially when you're having trouble with 2 housemates. We're talking about rehoming 1 dog, and I get it. I understand. You can't live in your house with 2 dogs that are going at it. But this is how serious the conversation is, and I'm not only saying this to you, Camden, I'm saying this to everybody watching. Is like, these are the phone calls, the text messages, the emails, the direct messages, and conversations that we have with folks. Lots. That's why we're so strict about our protocol with dogs. So, I want you to teach both those dogs the place command, no free roaming. I want you to not let them have a free-for-all as far as eating, okay? I want that to be a very structured thing. Feed them in their crates, okay? Also, because you are a leader, I want you to tell Eli the next time he goes after Bo for no reason, I want you to tell him to knock it off. How do you do that? Depends. You could, on an e-collar, hi, tell him no, and correct on an e-collar. You could let him drag around a leash and a prong collar. He goes to do that, and no, give him a pop on the prong. Or you could bonk the dog. But either way, you're showing Bo, hey, I'm going to advocate for you. You're showing Eli, hey, knock it off. How dare you act like that in my house? So you tell the dog to knock it off, but then the other end of thing is, ends of things, the other end of things, I've been talking a lot today. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh my, I'm tripping over my words.
You have. I'm so sorry. But you know what? You're doing great. You've done excellent teaching today. You're doing great right now.
See, I feel like you're sincere, but
I am.
Just like,
I'm being completely sincere.
really? 100%?
Yes. 100%.
I want you to then teach the dogs what to do. Go lay in your place beds, relax, and start implementing massive amounts of structure. I want you to start there, Camden. Then after you get that a little bit under control, keep coming back with further questions, and we'll keep progressing them onward. Okay, next.
Okay. All right. Lisa Cruz.
Hey, Lisa.
Honest question about this. How does this fit in with socializing? I was told in the past and recently have been told part of Viking's issues is I did not socialize him enough with people or other dogs. It's confusing me. The exact quote was, I need to have this dog out daily meeting as many dogs as possible, dogs and people as possible. I didn't do that, and you know Viking.
Yeah, so who told you that? You know what I mean? Like, everybody's an expert, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's an expert. I screenshotted that because she put that as a question, and then Tiffany Stout was also curious about it, so I popped it into the queue. I love everybody. I love all the questions. I love all the engagement. One thing I will say is I like for all my questions to be in the Q&A question request post so we can keep them all in order. I love all the questions. It is sometimes like they get lost if they're...
Yeah, we'll lose your questions
Yeah,
if they're
we'll
not
lose
there. It's because this is the forum we use, and this is how we keep things organized.
Yeah.
So it's just easier that way.
Yeah,
For
so-
everyone, for you guys to get your questions answered, and for us to answer them.
Yeah.
So.
So we love it. We love it. Just put them in the Q&A forum. And same thing with Camden. We almost didn't get your question, but I saw it in the DMs and I had her read it. So anyway, I screenshotted that. That had to do, that was on Roman's, the picture I posted yesterday with Roman about when I said, to be everything to your dog, stop letting people pet your dog. Okay? So then Lisa Cruz is going, okay, well, I was told if I don't let people interact with my dog, then that'll cause the dog to be, socially awkward, and that's a lie. That's not true. I didn't let strangers or people interact with Roman till he was totally trained, which is like about 10 months old, a year old. You know why? Because I don't need the guy at Lowe's helping me train my dog. I don't need the guy at TSC interacting with my dog. You know why people do it wrong? They interact with dogs wrong. That's why people get bit, you know? So, again, we hear all the bad stuff. And the energy that they bring. So that's wrong, Lisa. Don't worry about that. You didn't do anything wrong at all. Also, you know how many dogs that we get coming here for rehab, or that even we get in private training, that are like damaged because of poor encounters with other dogs? You know, always one of the main ones that comes to my mind that I feel so bad about is Oliver.
Yeah.
You know?
That's who came to my
Yeah.
mind too.
6-month-old golden doodle. He'll never be the same. He'll never be the same because he was attacked on leash by another dog. So that's just one example. It's just one example that really makes me feel bad. So, when you go out in public with your dog, teaching your dog to exist in public with other people is what you need to do. And that is socializing in itself without mingling. Does that make sense? Was that a good way to put that?
Yeah, I like that because it's like, I think that's maybe we need to change our view on what socialization is.
Yeah.
And with like, they don't need to mingle, but yeah, they need to learn to exist around other dogs. Of course they do.
So a great example is, this is the reason this question came up, is Roman. Roman is able to socialize with people, but he's not interested in interacting with people. I guess I don't know what verbiage to use, but Roman, if I saw you out and about, Roman would not care if you wanted to pet him. He'd be like, oh, hey.
Or he would look to you for permission.
Yeah.
To want to do that. Just like when we were at vet camp and there was a guy and he called Roman over and Roman's sitting down minding his own business, and I mean there were tons of animals and dogs and people at vet camp, and Roman's just laying there, and the guy was like, hey puppy, come here Roman, and he's like,
Who does that with a security dog? But anyway.
he looks at her and he's like, Mom,
Yeah.
what do I do?
Like, I'm not supposed to go see this guy? Yeah, exactly. But it's not that Roman's going like, oh, I don't want to interact with people.
Right.
Oh, I don't like people.
Because he loves, I mean, he'll
He enjoys people.
turn over and get a belly rub.
Yeah,
but
he enjoys people. But he doesn't enjoy anyone more than me. And that's what I want for all of you and your dogs. Is when you go out and about, your dog goes, I don't care about any of this. I care about you. That's who I care about. So, I wouldn't have that with Roman if I just always let him go out and let anybody pet him and interact with him and anything goes and it's a free-for-all and I look like I'm going to hit you in the face, you know? But it's like...
Singing that.
Yeah. But it's like, I'm everything to him. So you didn't do anything wrong. Going out in public should give you an opportunity to put your dog to the test as far as holding down stays, as far as a proper heel position, as far as zero reactivity. Go out and about and put your dog's obedience to the test. That's how you socialize with your dog. Not by letting them just, you know, wine and dine with everybody. Next.
Okay. JB Lynn.
Hey, Jamie.
She says, hi again. Question about place command. We taught Finn, our golden doodle, from a young age the place command. He's over a year now, and he's been testing me lately. He gets off when I leave the room, sneaks to grab a toy, and stands and stares at us while we're watching TV.
Yep.
How can I correct this? Shouldn't he be lying calm and only come off when we say okay?
Yes.
And then she says, by the way, he's only prom trained.
Okay, great. And thank you for that bit of information. Okay, so first off, great job. Proud of you putting the work in. Okay? Second thing is what I want you to do is I want you to spy on your dog. Okay? So, this day and age, Skype, FaceTime, baby monitors, whatever you want to do. Okay? But I'm just going to example. FaceTime. Take your phone or tablet, put the dog on place in another room, bedroom, downstairs, dining room, wherever nobody is. Put the dog on place, put the dog on a downstairs, spy on him. mute your phone so the dog doesn't know what's going on. You go into the other room, okay? You're watching the dog, you're sitting there watching TV, you're watching, dog gets up, steps off a place. You, from the other room, because you don't have an e-collar, so you from the other room simply go, no. You marked it right there. Dog stepped off a place, you marked it. No. You go into the other room, dog's gonna be standing there, right? Or maybe he's grabbing a toy or whatever. You pick up the leash, give the dog a firm leash pop on the prong. Firm. Firm. And I say that 3 times because I always see people when I'm like, give the dog a firm leash pop. It's like they sort of like guide the dog back. I'm like, you already did that. When you taught the dog, you guided the dog back when they got off. Firm leash pop. Firm enough that you may even get an audible. Why? Because I don't want to do it again. I want it to be one and done. I don't want to nag the dog. Okay? You already taught the dog. This is like time to. Can I say pony up? No?
You can if you
Does
want.
that work?
Why do you like
Does
that
that work?
phrase so
I do
much?
like it a lot.
You like it a lot.
Time to pony
Time to
up. David's texting us from the other room. Okay. Time to pony up and hold the dog accountable. Okay? So spy on the dog. Dog gets off. No. Walk in. Firm leash pop. Put him on place. The dog's gonna go, holy crap. How does she know what I did? And you're like, I know everything. And don't you forget it. Good job, Jamie. I'm proud of you. Keep up the good work. Let me know if I can do anything else for you. Next.
All right. Julie, and I don't know how to say it, but Burnworth. She also went through training. Listen, I'm not getting people's names wrong anymore.
It's fine. It's just like, it's literally an issue.
I'm done. It's an issue, but I'm done.
Okay.
She went through group training with you.
She did.
Yeah.
Julie went through back with me, like back in the early days.
She says we
Good to
went
hear
through
from
group
you.
training with Cole 4 years ago.
Oh, okay. So maybe not as long back as I thought it was. I did. I thought it was.
Everything okay over here? You having some issues?
No, what is happening?
It's your hair is like coming from over here. Just like tuck it behind.
I gotta
your ear or
switch
something.
hairdressers. I don't know what's happening.
Okay. Can I read her
You're gonna-
question,
you're
or
gonna-
are you done looking at yourself in there? Or can I read her question? Or
I can listen.
You're
and
gonna
get-
just gotta make sure it's all
and
good.
get the hair out of my face.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. We went through group training with Cole 4 years ago. We also have a Morkie. She goes, well, we decided to increase our pack by another. 9-week-old Bernese Mountain Dog.
9-month-old?
9-week-old. So, is there such thing as too much crate time? I'm asking because she's in her cage during the day while we work. I come home, let her play for a while, potty, eat, etc. Then I have to do things myself. I can't do these things with her connected to my hip. I keep a leash on her to keep her in sight always.
Good.
Is it okay to stick her back in her crate?
Yeah.
I can't seem to get anything done. I brought home a baby, LOL.
Yeah, you did.
She also wants to know if you have any good tips on potty training.
Okay. Yeah. Why did my voice just crack there?
I got a 13-year-old boy. Okay.
Okay. Congratulations on the puppy. So now the work starts. Can you crate the puppy too much? No. You know, here's the thing, guys. 9-week-old puppy, being 100% honest, and this might shock a lot of people, a dog should spend like 18 hours a day in the crate. Like, think about it. So you sleep for 8 hours, at least I hope so, right? If not, I feel bad for you. No, I'm a minimum of an 8-hour sleeper, right? So you sleep for 8 hours. You get up, you like eat breakfast and brush your teeth and get ready to go off to work, you know, and so you might have the dog out for an hour in the morning. Then you go to work for 8 hours. That's 16 hours right there of the dog being in the crate. Now, here's the thing. 9-week-old puppy, can that puppy make it for 8 hours without any pottying? maybe not quite at this age. You might need to ask a friend or a neighbor or somebody to come over and let the dog out to potty. It might not make it 8 hours, straight through. But as far as the dog being in the crate, just remember, guys, dogs don't have a concept of time. So I'm not telling you like, oh, just, constantly crate the puppy, but the dog should be in and out of the crate all day long, and I don't want you to have the dog outside of the crate when you can't pay attention to it. That's just a recipe for disaster. That's a whole other conversation. So crate the puppy when you can't watch it. That's the best thing you could do for the dog. Go ahead. I feel like you got something to add.
So she wants to know too, she says when she puts her in the crate to do things, like when she comes home after work, she's going to sleep. So then she's afraid that she won't sleep at night.
No, don't worry about that. Puppies sleep all the time.
She will. What I'm wondering though, she didn't say it, but are you afraid that she's going to be whining to go outside because she's not sleeping like puppies do? Because that's not a side effect of her being in the crate too much. That's just what puppies do.
Yeah.
Like they whine. I don't know if that is the case, but that's just the one thing I remember from having a puppy. Like, oh, maybe they're in the crate too much and they're awake at night, and then they want to go outside, and then I think that's just what puppies do, and you have to break them of that habit.
They do. So congratulations, it's like puppyhood, right? So my family's bred dogs since I was 6 years old. Honest to God, guys, like puppies sleep like 20 hours a day. They get up, they play, they sleep. They get up, they play, they sleep. So it's okay. It's okay to feel like you're crating the puppy all the time. Don't feel like a monster. In fact, crating your dog is the kindest thing you can do for them. That is the kindest thing you can do for them. So you're doing fine, Julie. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Get it?
Yeah. Do you have any
good tips for potty training. Monitor food and water. No free rein food. And believe it or not, no free rein water. Put your water down with meal times and in between. Mm-hmm. Pick all food up by 6 p.m., meaning try to make their dinner or, no later than 6 p.m. If you go to bed at like 10 o'clock, that last drink of water should be about 8 o'clock, so that dog is fully eliminated. No free rein water, meaning don't allow that dog to drink and drink and drink. Put the water down, let it lap up a little bit, pick it up. So monitor food and water, crating the dog when you can't watch it, and that's about all I got on that. Anything else I could explain on potty training is going to be about a 30-minute answer. So those are the highlights there.
And we can do 30-minute answers on Skype sessions or stuff like that if you can't make it into training.
Yeah.
We do offer those. Skype sessions, FaceTime sessions, whatever those are. But not that we like to help people on here. It's just we can't spend an extra 30 minutes doing stuff like that.
This isn't me being like, hey, hire me or anything like that. But it's just like, I could go into lots of detail about how I potty train a puppy, but it's going to be about a 30-minute answer. So. Okay, next.
So Sammy, I feel like she told us her last name last time, so I don't want to say it because I'm nervous. But Sammy,
we know you are.
Sammy, she said, I asked this question before about my 1-year-old Misty crying and barking in her crate while my puppy is out. I've tried throwing the bonker at her crate and it doesn't faze her at all.
Okay.
She says it makes her cry more and louder.
Okay.
And she says the collar only works when I get up to like 80 and it takes multiple shocks till she's quite quiet. Is this normal?
Okay. I don't want to say that it's normal. I also don't want to say that it's abnormal. And you're like, okay, great. Like, so what do you mean? Meaning, we get these cases a lot, and we fix them right up. But usually a bonk on the crate quiets about 80% of dogs down. So 20% of dogs are going to give you a little bit more trouble. Does that seem accurate?
Yeah. I mean, could she try her approach differently? Like she said she's tried throwing it at.
Well, here's the thing. You said it only works, the collar only works when I get up to 80 and it takes multiple shocks so she's quiet. So you know what I always say, right?
You say a lot of things all the time. I don't know. Not sure where you're going.
Why can't you remember them all?
because it's like a lot.
Well, I
of
just
them
feel like,
all
you
the
know.
time. Like, you know what I always say? I'm like, I don't know which one we're talking about.
Here's
a
what
lot.
I know, but as soon as I say this, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, you do always say that, right?
We'll see.
You will. We get dogs in that we're training here, and they're really bad in the crate. Like sometimes we get dogs where it's like owners are like, we can't even crate the dog because the dog's self-mutilating in the crate. Meaning like the dog will bust out of the crate, break off teeth, have gouges on its face, like that kind of stuff. That conversation that I have with the dog day one when they come here is a very firm, very frank conversation. And here's what I always say. Guys, just you know, why do you have to why do you have to be like that?
I don't know, because you're making such a huge deal of it. And here's what I always say. Here it is.
Good.
So I'm like waiting.
You ready? We just did what the owner has a really hard time doing.
And what is that?
That's the that was it.
I don't think that's what you always say.
I always say that. Every time I have to
Can
do
we go
something
back
like
through
that.
previous Q&As and see if she said
No,
that?
I always say that to you, just between us.
Oh.
Not on Q&As. Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
Sorry, I didn't know what we were talking about.
No, I always say that to you. Like, we just did what the owners have a hard time doing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't as epic as you thought it was going to be.
I think you made it into a bigger deal.
Well, you were being... And this is what I always say.
Get out of here. But it's true. I mean, it's honestly true. It's like you said there in your question, it only works when I get to an 80. So who cares if it's an 80? Like, what does it matter? Like, who cares if it's an 80? Who cares
Yeah.
if it's 100? Watch the dog. The dog will tell you if it works. And this is why I truly, on a serious note, this is why I truly do say this to my other trainers. It's like, we just did what the owners have a hard time doing because it's gonna look like a bar fight, Sammy. It's
Yeah.
gonna look bad.
It does. It
in
does,
the moment, no, I mean, but honestly, like, on a serious note, it's like in the moment, how many times have we done that and been like, that's why the owners have a hard time? Is because for those 5 seconds, those 5 seconds feel like a minute. Because you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm ruining my dog.
Well, like, right, like, even when I first started, like, how many times have I done it, and I'm like, I'm like looking at you like, am I doing this
And
right?
I'm
Like,
like,
something's
keep
wrong,
going.
and you're like, just do it.
just
You
do
gotta
it.
do it.
Right. So it's like, those are the parts, as an average dog owner, you're sitting there going like, oh my gosh, I think I just broke my dog. And you didn't. That's the thing, Sammy. So who cares if it's an 80? If it works, it works. Don't worry about the number.
So, okay,
Also
is she,
be calm and matter of fact about everything.
so is she worried, though, that it's like, it's not stopping, I think is what the problem is. Because she's saying that she's done the bonker thing and she does the collar thing, and apparently
Make sure
it's looking to me like she's doing
Yeah.
this multiple times and it's not stopping.
Make sure your fit is right on the collar. That it's snug on the muscle. Let's do that. Also, don't be hypersensitive about the number and be like, oh my gosh, but it's an 80. It's like, who cares if it's an 80? Hold it. Like, I've taken 100. And this is not something, guys, that's like, it's like, we're not doing this to every dog. We're doing these to dogs that are self-mutilating. We're doing this to dogs that are literally frantic and ballistic in the crates long before I showed up with a shock collar.
Mhm.
So let's keep that in mind, okay?
So they're basically like, we're doing this to dogs that are like harming themselves.
Yeah.
Like the 100 on a collar is harming the dog less than what the dog is doing to itself. Even if it's not physical harm, the dog is so anxious in the crate that why would you want your dog
It's
in that mental
frantic.
state
It's
at all?
frantic.
You don't.
And
So-
and guys, remember, this stuff that we deal with dogs, like these are dogs that come into us, so they've never had a shock collar on them. So all this bull crap out there about like, well then that's what makes the dog have a bad association with the crate. It's like, no it doesn't. Like, this is how we stop nonsense in the crate on day 1, and the rest of the 3 weeks the dogs are with us, they're relaxed and calm in the crate. We create a bad association with biting the bars of the kennel. That's what we create a bad association with ripping up the crate floor. That's what we create a bad association with.
Or crying,
Right.
crying
And
louder,
frantic yes.
behavior. That's what the bad association.
And you have to go high on your shock collar because the dog is in such an aroused state of mind that 80 doesn't feel like an 80 to him. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So Sammy, you may have to hold an 80. You might have to be like 1, 2, 3. How many times have I had to do that? 1, 2, 3, and we're literally like, because the dog is like, it's not pretty. But guess what? Last 5 seconds, and now we have a safe, calm dog in the crate. Okay? So, I look forward to working with you. I know you're on my schedule here.
And you're doing great. Like
Yes.
you're doing the right thing.
Yes.
So don't feel bad.
Yeah.
Like don't hesitate.
Yep.
Like you're on the right track. So just keep doing what you're doing.
We look forward to working with you. I don't know if I'll have you or Danielle, but you're on your schedule. We both look forward to meeting you.
All right. So Morgan Dye. I just had a few questions. We have a 13-week-old pit bull, and we will take him outside. He'll pee and poop, and then come in, and like 10 minutes later, pee and poop inside.
Ugh. Okay.
I made his cage smaller with the divider, and he would still poop and pee in the cage, and I'd have to wash him before I went to work, and we've now been putting him in the basement and punishing him for going potty. We are just at a loss and don't feel like anything is working.
Mm-hmm.
So he's 13 weeks.
Okay. Okay, so when you put him in the basement, keep in mind that punishment is not really a punishment to the dog. The dog doesn't look at it that way. Okay? So that's not really going to help here or there. Dogs don't think in timeout and stuff. You can't do
Well,
that.
I don't know. Here's what I'm wondering. Is she putting him in the basement instead of his cage? Is that what she's saying? Like, so that...
Yeah.
I think that might be what she's... So, like, he's in his cage with the divider, and he would still do it, so then we've now been putting him in the basement and
Oh.
punishing him. So I'm wondering if maybe
Yeah.
he's going...
So he definitely needs to be in a crate, no matter what. Okay. Also, if you're putting him in the basement for punishment, just keep in mind dogs don't think in timeouts, so that's not gonna work. Okay, so don't do that. Also, monitor food and water. A lot of folks that I'm meeting, they're having a lot of trouble potty training their dogs is because they leave out the free reign food and they give their dogs too much water to drink. So if I sat here and downed 3 bottles of water, I'm gonna have to pee probably 4 times in the next hour. If I drink 1 bottle of water and I go pee, like that's gonna be sufficient for several hours. So that here's the dog. If the dog's lapping up water and lapping up water and lapping up water, yeah, you take him out and he goes potty, but he's got a little bladder right now. And he comes right back in, and you're like, oh my gosh, I just had you out there 15 minutes ago. And it's like, well, he's drinking too much at once. Monitor food and water. Start there. Always crate the dog when you cannot watch the dog and you're not directly interacting with the dog. Okay, so do that. Also, do not scold or punish the dog for pottying in the house because you will create a dog that sneaks and goes. What I'd rather you do is make the dog feel more anxious. And again, this is like a long-winded 30-minute answer. Make the dog feel more anxious. I know, it's like I'm trying to condense it as much as I can. But how we make dogs feel anxious is we baby them. So pick the dog up and go, no, it's okay. And run the dog outside and baby them, coddle them, talk condescendingly to them, and you'll raise their anxiety and they'll be more afraid to potty in the house. not so much worried about punishment. The dog will just be like, oh my God, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, are the curtains going to catch on fire and the house is going to like fall down? So again, this is me trying to condense a 30-minute answer as much as I can, but try to do those things. Crate the dog though when you can't watch it. Monitor food and water. Thanks for the question, Morgan, and best wishes. Let me know if we can do anything else for you. Next.
And our last one. Shelby. Why did she say?
Because I saw Amanda had a question.
Oh, where was it?
I don't know. Just ask Shelby's and then scroll
Okay.
up and find. Because you got to hit all comments.
I did. It says all comments right there.
Where was her question at then?
It must have been on something else.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
ask me that and then.
Maybe it was.
And then go back and look for hers. Just ask me. Okay. Yeah, it was on the last. Go back. Ask me Shelby's and then go
Okay.
back to that.
Okay. Hello, my name is Shelby, and we are getting
Hey,
one of
Shelby.
your golden puppies.
Nice. Can't wait to meet you.
I've really enjoyed watching your YouTube videos and trying to gather all the knowledge I can before bringing our guy home.
Hey, that's awesome.
Few questions. At what age can you start corrections, and with what method? I know they'll be too young for training on a collar.
Uh-huh.
So is it just verbal corrections up until a certain age? And also, is it too early to teach them anything other than basic commands when they are that little?
So these are all great questions, Shelby, and I'm so happy that you're consuming, not only our content, but hopefully other content too, and learning as much as you can. So that makes me really happy and really excited for you to get one of my puppies. I love that. I love knowing that you're being proactive. So then when my puppy's in your hands, that he's going to be learning, or she. I truthfully.
Says he.
Yeah. That he's going to be well trained. So. Your first question is, so let's just go down through these. Your first question
What
is,
age can we start corrections, and with what method?
so we can start correcting. Okay, so first off, guys, corrections are. It can be a plethora of things. A correction or a punishment is just something that's intolerable to the dog. So it doesn't always mean pain. It's just something that is intolerable to the dog. So puppy nips or bites, we can correct that, right? Puppy jumps, we can correct that. Puppy's barking and carrying on in the crate, we can correct that. We can't correct an 8-week-old puppy or a 10-week-old puppy for non-compliance of sit. Okay? So we can correct for some behavioral things, can't correct for obedience commands. So the dog's it's 12, about 14 weeks old. Sometimes 12 weeks, depends how much work you were able to do. So we're a little ways off of being able to correct for obedience commands. I have a video on my YouTube channel on how to correct puppy nipping, so go check that out. We could probably do a video on how to bunk the kennel or there might be one on there. I guess I have to look. But I'll show you how to bonk the kennel when you pick up the puppy. I think your next question was about what age can we start remote collar training? Is that it? No?
What age can you start corrections, and with what method? And then she said she knows they'll be too young for a training collar.
Okay.
So is it just verbal corrections up
Yeah.
until a certain age?
So verbal corrections don't mean anything to the dog. So a lot of times I'll ask people, what methods do you use to stop a dog from having unwanted behaviors? And people will say, well, I tell the dog no. Unless you mark no with punishment, no doesn't mean anything. So you can say potato. Potato! It doesn't mean anything. So remember, guys, like if we were training the dog in German, we'd be saying 9. Like we wouldn't be saying no, we'd be saying 9. So that's just an example. So to correct the dog verbally actually is like, we're actually very calm verbally. Words are just words. So when we say no to a dog, it's literally like, no. So, no, your corrections always need to be physical of some sort.
But bottom line, you're telling her that it is okay to correct for unwanted behaviors.
Yes.
At that young.
Yes.
So no, you're not going to stick a collar on him, but there are other methods that we use.
Yeah, the dog jumps on me, I might give him a little toe tap in the belly.
Yes.
Dog bites my hand, I'm gonna stick my thumb down the dog's, throat, sort of push on its tongue or fold its lips into its teeth. That's the one I have on the YouTube channel. That dog's biting at a kid, I might bonk it. Dog's barking in the crate, I might bonk it. Those sort of things.
Okay. She also said, is it too early to teach them anything other than basic commands?
No, you can start teaching the dog as soon as you get him home. Every day is teaching, so you can
But
teach.
we don't correct them
Correct, yeah.
for non-compliance.
Yeah,
So
everything's
we're
just teaching.
and reward. It's
Yeah.
a reward-based
Yes,
system.
yes.
They get food at that age. They did a sit. They get food for doing the sit.
Yeah. So you would use the dog's daily food instead of feeding that puppy out of a bowl. You would actually take that 3/4 cup of food, let's say for breakfast, and you would put it in your pocket, and you would lure the puppy into a sit. Sit, food, down, food, kennel, food, come, food. Everything is food. Food, food, food. You become very valuable to your dog, and you're teaching. So we do a ton of food training, especially with puppies. So look forward to meeting you, Shelby, and helping you through your journey and getting that dog trained the way you want it to be.
Okie dokie.
Next.
So to Amanda. That's our last one.
Yep.
Official last one.
Official last one.
Amanda wants to know, how soon can you start training with a puppy?
There you
Kind
go.
of goes along with the last one.
Kind of does. Hey, look where we were, but you weren't there. We were there, but you weren't there. So we brought some great trail home. If any of you guys have not been to Sandy Springs, you need to go. Seriously, Amanda, I'm like a spokesperson for you. How many people did I tell in private training tonight? I was like, you need to go to Sandy Springs and get some mango slushies.
And then the one guy, I can't think of anything else
Yeah,
but mango
I'm literally
slushy.
like 30 minutes into his private training. He's like, all I can think about is mango slushies.
That was
I know.
really funny.
So, anyway, check out Sandy Springs, you guys, if you haven't been already. How soon can you start training with a puppy? I want you to take her daily food, Amanda, and I want you to start making training sessions with her daily food. So not treats, guys, the dog's daily food. That is what's going to have you hold more value in your dog's life. That's how you can be everything to your dog, is you're making them work for your food, or their food. Not your food, their food. So
They got it.
Yeah, I know. But I've been talking a lot tonight. So it's like, you
You're
notice.
doing great. You're on your last
I know.
one. Wait, you got this.
I know, and I'm having fun. It's just like, get out of here. So,
Keep going.
so lure her into a sit. So mark the word sit, food, down, food, kennel, food. Everything is food. Come, food. So everything is food training. It's patterning. It's marking all the behaviors that we want. When she's about 14 weeks old, then we can really step up our game. And I'm going to help you with that. So, all right. Lots
She's
of
going to
food.
be an excellent brew dog.
She
Brewery
is.
Dog.
She is. If you guys follow our puppies, Amanda got and Andy got Clara, our little broken leg puppy, and now her name is Barley, the brew dog. So go check her out. So we love you guys. We're happy to help you, and keep the questions coming, and share this information with other friends that maybe are struggling with some of the same stuff. So hopefully we can help them out too. All right. You have anything to add to that?
Nope. I think it was good.